kind of don't want to talk about child traffickers today. Can't spend a bunch of time focused on them. I don't think it's healthy. Personally, I don't think they're healthy. And so I'm more focused on things are going crazy in the world. We just got hit with an X2 solar flare, and the coronal hole has gotten exponentially large. The ninth rotation, it's on its ninth rotation now, and it's even gotten significantly bigger. And so that's going to be causing a lot of heat and radiation to just flow our way. It hits the plasma winds, solar plasma, and inundates the planet. And I think that it's driving a lot of things crazy. I think that's the reason why we're seeing the uptick in volcanic activity and seismic activity. And I also think that it is causing a lot of people to be crazy. And so hey, Cognitive, Sherilyn, ZZ. I don't know about anybody else, but oh my God, the last few days, I've been exhausted. I've gotten stuff done, but oh my gosh, it's been exhausting. It's tired, you know? And I have a feeling that it has everything to do with the solar weather. It's coming from the sun. This will probably be a short one today if I don't know what to talk about. Today wasn't so bad as far as heat-wise goes, and it was a nice breeze compared to yesterday where it was a torrential windstorm. It was like the wind wouldn't slow down, and it was just a constant nerve-wracking uncomfortable situation. The wind was crazy. And so I should have tied my hair back. Hey, Lavinia. So with that said, I'm going to need some conversation. I just really don't want to focus on the child traffickers today. You know, the one that I just did, not the very last one, but the one before that, calling them all out and stuff. It's just the information's out there, and I feel like I'm a broken record. It's Saturday, and I really just don't feel like being in the mood to actually go on and on. They're the most unlikable group of people anyway. I would assume that it would be Daniel Dodd, but on the last live that I did, he texted me 79 times during that live. I had 79 texts, and they're doing those obsessive videos where shit, all they do is sit around and think about me all day, it seems like. It's just kind of weird. Nobody has ever captivated my attention like I seem to capture theirs. Well, breaking into my house is a crime. Murdering Owen and bragging about it, that was a crime. Blowing up the gas station, that was a crime. There's a lot of crimes that just don't seem to matter much. You know? It's beyond frustrating. And so it's funny on here, if I'm not talking about the child traffickers, it just gets tiring, you know? And there's so much more facing us in the world. And all of that stuff is getting, they're so intent on hiding their secrets. But pretty soon, none of it is going to matter. And their very souls are on the line. But you can't tell them shit. They won't listen to me. I've warned them the whole entire time. And they don't, thank you, Lavinia. And a cherry pie sounds wonderful. A friend in town let me go pick some of their rhubarb. So I'm about to make a lemon rhubarb cake thing. The recipe came up on my computer or on my phone one day. And then when I asked her about it, if I could go get some rhubarb, I told her about the recipe, and she was like, oh my God, I saw that same recipe this morning. And so, quilting bags, but even that has been, the last couple days, I had to work on a cover for my sewing machine, so it didn't get, I have to baby it now, so I had to make a cover for it. And with it being springtime, there's just so much weed pulling and chopping or transplanting flowers and stuff like that it's fun, but time consuming, and there's only so much. Sherilyn is my moderator and my friend. That's just, there are, the focus really, I mean, when I say it can't be completely on me, that's an understatement. But when it comes to Sherilyn and stuff like that, you know, she's just someone who is kind enough to help me moderate. That's, lemon rhubarb, yeah, that's what I thought, you know. And spring cleaning, I have to do that on a continuous basis. What advice would I give myself, my younger self? I don't know. I don't think I'd warn myself about what I had to deal with as an adult, because then I might not do it. Thank God that's really not an option. You know? That's what I have to say. Thank God it's not an option. I've heard that you guys are getting a lot, and it's cold there. I've heard that. It's beautiful here. It's 80 degrees. It is a tough one, you know? I know why heaven works in a need-to-know basis. Because if we knew half of the shit that we were going to end up having to deal with doing what God asks of us, we might not do it. So you know, I think that if I went back, I would go back to myself when I was getting a divorce, and I would tell myself that even though it was going to be awful, it would all be so much worth it. And I think that's advice that we can all deal with right now on a daily basis. You know, as bad as it might seem to get, it's all going to be worth it. I don't mind. It'll be worth it to fight till the end. You know? It'll be all worth it. They're evil shit, they think they've won. And they parade their evil shit around like it's just groovy, and they work with impunity and blah 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 blah. And none of that is going to happen. There's consequences and accountability that they're about ready to face, and there's no way around it. And they think that they're going to thwart it, that they're the ones in charge, that they're the powerful ones. And they could not be more wrong. They could not be more wrong. And so and they will parade their evil shit around as big and as powerful as they possibly can. But I think that it makes a big difference. Death is coming for all of us. Death is coming for all of us. The supervolcanoes are all getting, every single one of them is having issues. And so they're very arrogant. They're very super foolish. All of us need to focus on our souls and filling our hearts with love. Because right now we're in judgment time, and death is coming. There's no way to thwart it. It's just, it's coming. And so we can only do, and what are we told? A storm is coming. It's already somewhat here. It's just building, but it's here. And things are not going to go well for a lot of people. And preparing ourselves so that we can get through this with our souls intact, I think, is the key focus that needs to happen right now. I think that the fact that we have to get through at a time where we keep our we're able to save our humanity, even though it defies self-preservation sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You have to stand for what's right, no matter what the consequences are. And that's what I've tried to do with all of this situation, is try to do what's right, in the best way that I can, and stand for righteousness. That's the whole thing. We're supposed to stand for righteousness. And I have faith in Christ, but the tribulations should bother all of us. We're not impervious. The rain falls on the just and unjust alike. We live in lawless days right now. Obviously, we live in lawless days. Anything goes. Anything seems to go. And evil seems to be thriving everywhere. And all we can do is maintain ourselves. I believe that we are in a matrix, but I believe we're in a spiritual matrix. And I believe our choices matter a lot. And our choices are about us. Not about God, not about the church, not about priests and all of that. You know? You can't worry about it. You just maintain and keep going. What are you going to accomplish if you worry about it? Actually, calling it out as it is not the same as worrying about it. Calling it out is, oh, Sherilyn, please block Pootie. You know, this conversation is getting kind of bizarre. I just don't see how going to war with people is actually maintaining your humanity. You know? Well, Jesus did not tell you to sell your cloak and buy a sword. You know? Maybe. I'd be very careful. Well, sometimes you do have to fight back. You know? Especially now. Beating your... That's just it. You're supposed to beat your swords into plowshares. You know? And I don't know where Gov has been living yet. Live by the sword, die by the sword. That's, you know... So, I'm finding this to be exhausting. I have other things that I could be doing. Division and war is here. It's always been here. No complaints from me, Sherilyn. None. The birds are just a singing. Justifying violence, which is getting swords and all of that, obviously, is just not my thing. And I don't think it's a lot of people's thing in here. You know? I just know that Jesus Christ said, live by the sword, die by the sword. You beat me to it, Sherilyn. I don't know, I just think the whole thing of being hungry for bloodshed is so opposite to filling our hearts with love and living the word. It's just, it flies in direct opposition. And so I'm not all for, you know? I understand that. I just, you know, my concern is that you seem excited by it. And I think that being excited for any kind of violence is unhealthy. And to a lot of people, unnerving. And so, you know, do you see how obsessed he is, Sherilyn? I just dominate every moment of that idiot's life. You know? Dude, actually living the word, you know? It's just kind of weird because the conversation in here, it's just like there's a group of people who actually are trying to get me on defensive. And I'm not, you know, that's just when you're compelled to actually gravitate towards violence and then want to know about self-defense and all of that. The shit is focused on me 100%. The devil fucking lovers are focused on me 100%. That's how it's working. The child traffickers, you know? And so that's, what can you do? And what can you, you know? And they come as an army thinking that their stupid shit actually reflects on me and not them. That's how it works. And so, but it doesn't work that way. You know? Child predators go where children are. That's where they go. They're already in your kids' bedroom because right now they're all focused on the platforms, the social media and the gaming platforms of the kids. That's where they're at. So they're already in your kids' lives. And so that's how it works. The Satanic Temple, Doug Mesner, and and all that. So, okay, since it's become such an issue, let's just talk about the child killers. I mean, that's what everybody wants, right? You know? And so they're already in. They're targeting kids with the Satanic Temple after school daycare, you know? And they're all in here in mass because they think that their juvenile, stupid shit reflects poorly on me, not on them. But what control do I have over them? They don't even know how to control themselves, you know? It's just sad. And their focus, obviously, is 100% on me. They will post a myriad of videos of me a day. It's just kind of sad that I hold so much attention for them. But really, when it comes to obsession, I've been at this my whole life. And all I want is for heaven to bring these dumbasses down and make them pay. And that's about ready to happen. They wouldn't even know I existed had I not taken a stand and made them know. Otherwise, how they would have never even known I even existed. But that's how it works. That's how this has always had to work. And I am 100% in their brains. They think about me continuously, constantly, in a very unhealthy way and a much more unhealthy sense of time. It's just kind of sad. And they don't realize that. They don't realize how sad and how disturbing people find them. They just don't realize that. And if they did realize it, they would blame everybody but themselves. And it's just kind of bizarre. It's, you know, their shit is getting ready to crash. Their shit is getting ready to crash. In town here, the shit is getting ready to crash. And they can say whatever the fuck they want, but none of them live here. And it's already starting to get around. People are talking about, because people know that early in Iowa gas station explosion wasn't just one explosion. People know that, you know? The insurance companies definitely notice. There's all kinds of shit that's all being looked at now. There's no way to close it down because what side? Which part do you want closed down? Because it won't stop the other parts. That's... Heaven wants them brought down. And so it's been instrumented by heaven that everything is crashing down around them. That's how it's working. That's the reason why they're so obsessed with me. Because they think if they take me out or go after me or discredit me, that will stop everything. What? So now I'm omnipotent? You know? I'm in control of it all? Fuck, I can barely get through the day sometimes, but I'm in control of all of that? It doesn't even make any sense. Of course I'm not in control. Heaven is in control. And heaven, they wanted a fucking war with heaven. Now they're getting it. And they act like little bitches. That's the thing is that they act like little bitches. They wanted a war with heaven. They wanted to do their evil shit. You know? Didn't think there'd be any accountability for all their evil shit. And now they're finding out that they were wrong. And they don't like it. Okay, I guess. I'm not sure what difference they think that makes. But it's not me that they're fighting. And what they're fighting, they can't win against. They've already lost. They're just... It's taking time for them to realize that they are collateral damage in the whole thing. And always were. But with that said, I'm a half an hour into it, and I guess that's as good an inning as to end this. I'll be back on Tuesday, unless something happens, and then I'll be back on probably on Monday. But Tuesday, I'll just plan on it, 11 o'clock. With that said,